Any other questions? Very good questions today. I feel very honoured to have all of you here. You've asked very good questions. Very satisfying.
Could you,
yeah.
during the readings,
Yep.
elaborate like the first class man? Is that really as well?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Prabhupada, he was born in 1896 and he was educated in the 1910s and the 1920s in Calcutta under the British education system. So the way he writes is very traditional. So he'll say like a first class man. But, you know, I mean, the modern day we wouldn't say, we'd say first class person, because back in the old British ways, that's how they would write. So yeah, it doesn't mean he's just talking about men. We're all first class and you're all second and third and economy. Fourth class means people who are, first class means the people who are enlightened. Fourth class means the people who are, they just work in this world and they don't think. That's fourth class. We don't want to be fourth class. It means what we're talking about before. It's called, in Sanskrit, it's called Shudra. Shudra means you just work all the time. You don't think, what's life actually about? We don't want to be like that.
Is that kind of like the bhakti and the yogis? Is that the same thing?
To a degree. Yeah, to a degree. But it means that we have to be first class. It means you have to think about what you're doing and what the ultimate goal of life is and act on that platform. The problem is these days people just do everything. They don't think. You know, people don't question anymore. They don't question anything.
They just go with it. They don't think for themselves.
Yeah, just because they're doing it. Like if you go to the shops, right? If you say you go to Coles or Woolworths, the major supermarkets, most of the food is processed. Now they're beginning to tell us processed food gives you diseases. It's by definition, it's not food. By definition, food means whole grain. You know, now we have this whole food movement. These days, it's like, oh, it's a whole food movement. You have to go to the shop and pay extra to get whole food, right? 50 years ago, 100 years ago, everything was whole food. There was no such thing as processed food. Now we go, anything you eat which is processed, the more ingredients it's got means the worse it is for you. And most of the diseases people have got, including mental problems, is because of the food they're eating.
The chemicals and stuff.
The chemicals and stuff. Makes people imbalanced. So, but we just go along. We grow up and we think, oh, I go to the supermarket, buy a packet of whatever, and we think that's okay. It's not okay because we're not enlightened, we're not educated. So now we're beginning to understand these things and learn these things. It's what we're teaching to people. Right? So, you know, it's people just, the way, we don't question things anymore, it's the problem. Right? So to become a Hare Krishna, you have to be a bit of a rebel. Hands up if you like being a bit of a rebel. Okay, I'll ask it again. This is not good. Hands up if you like being a bit of a rebel. That's better. Go on, go. Hands up if you like being a bit of a rebel. You have to be a bit of a rebel. Being a bit of a rebel is good. Right? I've been a rebel my whole life. You know, when I was at school, you know, all my friends would smoke, you know, cigarettes, because that's what you do when you're a teenager. Everyone started. I never did it.
You're a nomad.
Yeah, I was at like, you know, I was like the outsider. But I said, I'm not going to do that. Why? Because I'd been told by someone. Then my dad told me, he said, this is not good for you. So I thought, oh, okay, so what am I going to do? A lot of peer pressure, but I wouldn't crumble. Right? But you have to be like that to be successful. And to be a Hare Krishna, you have to be a bit of a rebel. Right? You have to say, I'm not going to follow the mainstream. I'm not going to smoke cigarettes. I'm not going to do all the things that we do. You have to be a little bit, and you have to be strong, and you have to be convinced. I was listening recently to this guy, he's like a guru, and he said, someone asked him, he said, what if you're not confident? Does anyone suffer with lack of confidence? No one. Okay, that's good. Okay, I'll ask again. Does anyone suffer with lack of confidence? Yeah, we all do. Sometimes I feel like I lack confidence, you know, I'm scared to do this. You know, I appear very confident externally, but sometimes I feel very self-doubting. It's natural, we all feel like that. But he said, it was very interesting what he said. He said, okay, we suffer from self-confidence, but that's not really a problem. The problem is lack of conviction. Because when you're convinced about something, confidence goes up and down all the time. But if you're convinced, your moral compass is set on the point, you will go to that point no matter what. Yeah, so you just have to be fixed on this. You have to work out what, like we're saying, you have to work out what's right, and then you just go. Right? Because when I became a Hare Krishna, no one, you know, my grandmother, my mother, no one said, oh, fantastic. Yeah, go on, do it. They all tried to dissuade me. My mum had her friends ringing me up. What are you doing to your mother? Wow. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah. And I said to them, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You know, so we have to become fixed in our mind, our consciousness. Right. And then, you know, if this is the right thing, then we'll get the right goal.
Can't you vision just like you set up the goal, focus on the goal, and just become very strong-headed?
Strong-minded. It means you're fixed on what the goal is.
Yeah.
Like that. Because if you listen to the outside, in other words, you've got to follow your guru. You know, I know my guru is, I have 100% conviction that what he is teaching is pure, it is correct, and it will take me to the highest level of happiness. And I'm following him now, and it's working. I feel happy, I feel like I'm on the right path. Okay, so okay.
I think that we've all got our own moral compass within us, our own little guru.
Yep.
So if you slow down and you ask yourself a question, you know yes or no. You know if your gut is happy with your whatever you think or is not. Like that's, if you make a wrong decision, you go against what your gut or your inner self is telling you, you'll get sick, you'll go down the wrong path, you'll become someone who you're not meant to be. I think there is that already a guiding force within us, but we don't slow down and listen to that enough.
Yeah, it's true. There is a guiding force within us.
Yeah,
there is a guiding force.
A good one.
Yeah.
And when you go against that, that's when you get sick. That's when you.
But just to clarify as well, there is a guiding force within us. It's actually Krishna, it's God. He's actually.
That's what I think.
Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah.
But.
I didn't want to say Krishna.
That's okay. You can say.
Universal good person.
Yeah, universal good
What
person.
you call it.
Yeah. So we're talking about the same thing. So that's there.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that has to be clarified. That is there, and that guiding principle is there. But you still need a guru to check, because sometimes our mind gets in between what's right here and what is actually correct. And we tend to, how do you say it? What's that?
Accommodate.
Yeah, accommodate or adulterate, or we tend to, I'm just trying to think of the word, but what is
Convince
it?
ourselves of something that's
Maybe
just
you could bullshit to yourself.
Yeah, basically, yes.
Yeah.
So the point is that your heart, yes, technically, if you were actually in contact with Krishna, God, like that, you would technically be able to live with correct guidance, usually, but the mind gets in the way. So as that pure teaching comes out, the mind adulterate, there's a word, distorts it, yeah, like that. It comes in and it makes it confusing sometimes. So sometimes people, I've even seen Hare Krishna people, they're convinced they're right on something, and they're like that, but everyone else is looking at them saying, you're crazy. This is completely wrong. So therefore, you always have to have a guide, or in Sanskrit we say guru. You must. Because even when you're completely convinced, I mean, I even know myself in the past, I was really convinced something was right, but then when I asked my guru, he just said, are you serious? This is completely not right. This should be the other way. So we need that, we always have to have a checking point external to myself. And my guru told me one time, I remember, he said, I don't trust any one person's judgment, including my own. That was my guru who said that. He said, you must always check. You must always check. So technically, yes, it's right. Most of us know
a lot of time, I know if I've gone the wrong way, it's like, because I didn't,
it's like,
ignored me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's so we have a basic understanding. Like, I know if I throw that cup, through that window right now, I know that's not good. Right? But then someone will think, no, that is good. The mind will intercede and you'll do it, and you say, yeah, that was great. And then we'll be looking at, what did you just do? So people think like that. So if I had a guru, I picked up the cup, I'm about to throw it through the window, and my guru says, that's not really what you should be doing right now. It's not the best use of your energy. So the point is we need guidance. That's the point. Thank you very much. So if you'd like a magazine, please come and get. Please give a donation. Like that. It costs us a lot of money to put this on to feed all of you. So if you feel generous and you'd like to contribute, put a donation there. Please take one of these magazines. And if you're hungry, please go to the next room and we'll give you a wonderful meal. If you're not hungry, we'll see you next time.